I told my story when I was taken, and no one would listen to me. Then I told it again at the trial, the whole thing absolutely as it happened, without so much as a word added. And what did I get for it? The prisoner put forth a rambling and inconsequential statement, incredible in its details and unsupported by any shred of corroborative evidence. That was what one of the London papers said, and others let it pass as if I had made no defense at all. Now I'm telling this story to you in hopes that you can help me get my life back.
Have you heard of the riches of Mannering Hall?
You mean the large house I passed by?
That's the one. He hardly ever spends his wealth.
Well, hearing of this piqued my interest, and I positively had to check out this manor.
Hello, I suppose you were here to steal something. I wish to help you.
Why?
Well, to tell you would be too long of a story, but basically, I hate him! Follow me. So here it is, the metal room. Take what you want.
Wow.
But don't stop there. There's a lot more valuable things upstairs. You can just take this bag, put whatever you want in it. Mr. Mannering doesn't need anything.
How can I get them without him noticing?
Well, if we have to silence him, oh well.
Murder will not be on my conscience.
Alright, fine, just take these. Okay. Oh my God. Robert, is that you?
What's going on in here?
Well, I just couldn't sleep tonight, so I came down to look at the medals.
But you never look at them. What are you doing? Thinking about taking them for yourself and running off to Edward? I'm tired. I'm gonna go sit down. Ow, what the f***?
Come on, hurry up, come on! You have to go! Get out of here! Grab more and go! Come on, come on, come on, come on! We don't have time!
What the hell?
Murder! Robert! No, there's been a murder!
She caught me.
Is this the man, your ladyship?
Yes, that's him.
She's lying, it was her.
Don't lie!
No, I swear she stabbed him twice. I swear she caught
Don't hit him. Don't hit him. Let the law determine his punishment.
I'll make sure of it. You saw the crime be committed, yes?
Mm-hmm. I was upstairs with my husband, and we heard a noise downstairs, so we went down to investigate, and we see him robbing us.
Lies, look at the blood on her hands.
No, it is not true. You killed my husband. You fought him, and you killed him.
I've had
and now I
enough.
have nothing left.
Go
The
away.
bag is right here. I've had enough proof. Let's go.
No, demon.
So I present to you the truth. I wish for you to investigate this Lady Mannering and the mysterious man Edward, so that you may be able to see the truth as I see it.
This story is quite devastating, if you believe the narrator. While the narrator committed crimes in his past, he never desired to cause harm to any people. He wished to start fresh, live an honest life, but temptations got the best of him.
Others provided the information that eventually convinced him to rob the Mannering residence.
During the committing of his crime, he was very respectful and did not attempt to take any more than what he needed to fulfill his needs.
It was the conniving spirit of Mrs. Mannering that led him to take the additional wealth from the house.
Miss Mannering was once a sane woman, driven to insanity by her oppressive husband. She exhibits characteristics much like Bertha from the novel Jane Eyre. Miss Mannering chose to give up the love of her life in exchange for a fortune. Bertha was forced to give up her family and home life.
At first, Mrs. Mannering was enthralled by her newfound riches and lifestyle, but Mr. Mannering was cruel and selfish, never allowing her to leave the house or have any visitors.
When Bertha was first married to Mr. Rochester, they went on adventures together. But once the couple arrived in England, she was not allowed to explore the society anymore.
They were both locked up in the residence of their male counterparts, which eventually led to their descent into madness.
We must point out, however, that this story may not be true.
We haven't heard the story from a point of view other than that of the defendants. He could be lying after all. His stories seem too circumstantial and too detailed to be true.
When someone is lying, they generally create a very detailed story in their mind of what occurred. This is the type of story that's present in B24. All the variables that the defendant presents line up too perfectly. Only Mrs. Mannering was awake, everyone believed Mrs. Mannering first, and he came in with no intentions of harming anyone.
In his articulation of the story, he was never at fault. He describes other characters, convincing him to commit these crimes. The tavern keeper elaborates on how easy it would be to rob the Mannering residents and the exorbitant amounts of wealth they possessed.
If the defendant is telling the truth, the tavern keeper should be on his side.
To prove that he is in fact innocent for the murder, the tavern keeper should be questioned in court and describe how the defendant reacted during their conversation.
If he was innocent, his responses should have been ones that only concerned the act of stealing and not centered around finding out if there would be complications that would call for violence.
In this story, Mrs. Mannering is portrayed as a crazed woman who kills her husband, but we never hear her side. In Jane Eyre, Jane also views Bertha as an insane woman who desires to harm her husband. Yet, in White Sargasso Sea, we discover that Bertha, actually named Antoinette, is a very normal woman who suffers from unfortunate circumstances.
We learn that Antoinette was a respectable woman with a sound mind and good morals, but her oppressive husband, who locked her in the attic, led her to become crazy.
After Antoinette's point of view was revealed, it seemed that Mr. Rochester is the real criminal. This could be the case in B24. Maybe the actual criminal is Mr. Mannering.
Alright, you're good.
We have to stop, right?
What?
Here, someone pick up the dog. The dog's right there.
Can you move the dog?
Doggo! Hello?
Alright, Rohan, you're good.
What the
I suppose you were here to steal something. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The dog in my way. Milo.
Wait, can you just like put it in that room? Just.
Come on, go, go, go.
What the hell?
Go. You went way too fast. Rohan, any words for the fans?
Yeah, but I will.
Any words for the fans? Virginity rocks. Oh my god. Oh my.
Whenever you're ready.
Ah!